Yeah, so this is the today's problem of the day that I solved. Minimum initial energy to finish. Basically, we are given actual and minimum values for tasks. Minimum is the required energy that we need to start a task, and actual is what it consumes. Basically, we have to get the minimum energy initially required to solve all the tasks because let's say here the total sum of the energies that is needed to solve this entirely is basically 4 plus 2 6 plus 1 7. This all the tasks need 7 energies only, but we need to give out what is the minimum energy that we have to start with, because as you can see 8 is required for us to start this task even. So that is the least energy that we have to start with, since this task cannot be started if we have 8 energy initially. That is why we are starting with 8 energy and then we are consuming 4 out of it, so we are left with 4. Now we have two tasks and we have left with 4. Let's say we start this one, because this requires 4 is the requirement. So 4 is the requirement but 2 is the actual needed. So out of 4 we will consume the 2 and we are now left with 2 energies. Now the next 2 energy can be utilized here since it requires 2 to be started up and only 1 is going to be consumed. So after that we are left with 1 energy, but our solution is 8. That is, we need at least 8 to complete this entire task. So the flow was like this only. Now initially I thought of like sorting the entire tasks array on the basis of one of the variable, either on the actual or on the basis of the requirements, but that, as you can see, that is not able to solve because this is only consuming only one picture. This is not taking the both the variables in accordance. That is why when we are sorting we have to sort on the basis of the difference. So the things that take the maximum difference, that has to be completed first. So in this case this has the difference of 4, so this should be completed first. Then this has 2 and this has 1. So that is how we compute the differences like this. And after that it is basically about let's just dry run this particular question. So after sorting it will become um, the highest difference one is 2 2. So first let's say 10 12 will come, then 2 4 will come, then 10 11, then 3 1 1 3 will come, difference 2 is done. Then 10 11, and finally we have 8 9. So based on this sort we'll get the first numbers with the maximum difference, and then so on we'll get the least difference. So initially we will take the initial requirement. So 12 is what we are taking the initial answer. So at least 12 we need because that is the minimum requirement. So we start, and this is another variable that is storing used, how much we have already consumed. So I0 I length I plus plus, and here we are having available as initial minus used. So initially we took 12 and used is nothing, so we have 10 sorry 12 available, right? Now since our available is less than what we need 10. Actual energy is 10. Wait, our available is less. Okay, this is checking the requirement. So available is 12 since we had 12 initially, and this is less than. Is it less than our requirement? No, it is equal actually. So we are gonna consume this task. So 10 is consumed, and now we are left with 2. Now we are left with 2, and then in the next loop we are gonna come here, and it is saying that it requires 4. Since it requires 4, so available is gonna be initial minus used. Initially it had 12 and it used 10 out of it, so we are left with 2. Here we are left with 2, and now my available is less than the tasks of, correct, since now available is 2 and it requires 4, so this will become true, and we are gonna increase our initial value as the difference. So task 1 is gonna be 4, right? Tasks I of 1 is gonna be 4 minus available is 2, so the difference is 2, so we're gonna increase the initial with 2. So initial was 12, now it has changed to 14 since we added 2 here, and then we are gonna use up our task 0, that is 2. So now used is also become, used had became 10 previously, now used became 12, so we consumed this one also. Now we are at index this third item. Now this third item will have initial as 14 and we have used 12, so now again we are having 2 items, but this requires 3 items. The requirement is 3, so it's gonna add 3 minus available, that is gonna be 2. So now initial is gonna be incremented by 1 more, so it will become 15, and used tasks, this is gonna be used up, so it will become 12 plus 1 13. Now we are on this next one. Now available is gonna be initial minus used. Initial is 15 and 13 is used, so we have 2 left, right? Now if 2 is less than your requirement, correct, 2 is less than my requirement, so I will increment 11 minus available. Task available is, just a second, last we had initial as 15, available is 2 only, so 11 minus 2 will become 9, so we'll increment by 9, so 15 plus 5 20, and then 24 is gonna be added here, and then used we are gonna increment by 10, so we are gonna increment used by 10, it will become 23. And the next item we'll have the last one, and here we are having our available as 1 now, since initial is now 24 and we have consumed 23 out of it. 1 is there, but it requires 9, so it will become 9 minus 1, so 8 will be added to my available. 24 plus 630, then 32, so 32 is added, and now used, I will use up the 8 out of it, 31, so 31 energy is consumed, but we needed 32 in order to solve this, and that's how we will return the answer as 32. So this was accepted